What's going on, guys? Jerry with 3DHP here. And yeah, the thumbnail didn't lie. Nebula must hate me. Or the resin gods are pissed off at me. For the last 2 weeks I've had all kinds of headaches. Find out more right after this. Welcome back, everybody. Yeah, I've been printing with jam heat resin for the last week or so. I've been printing Nebula by Wicked, Patreon, Wicked Art Studio. And yeah, I've had some problems. I printed her out on my Uniformation GK2 at 100% scale as it was designed. And as you can see here in the time lapse, looks pretty cool. Until it doesn't. So I printed her out twice on the GK2. And pretty much had the same results. So then I had some green resin from Jam Heat already in my Peopoly forge. And as you know, green resin is translucent, so it shouldn't be a problem. My last print I did a while back came out perfectly fine. So I put her on that at 100% scale. And yeah, had some issues. Okay, she got done. Let's see what kind of times we had here. Amazing. And that's at 100% scale as it was designed by Wicked. And I angled her just right on the Uniformation GK2 and I managed to get it to just barely fit. So, looks amazing. I use dense, light supports. I slice with Cheetah Box. And I'm using a mixture of Jam Heat resin. I've got Nebula grade that I added later on to make sure I had enough. I got their standard resin. So I've got kind of a blend going on at the moment. And as you can see, I have too much resin in the vat, so I'll have to suck a lot of that out before I start the base and the next part, because it's way too full at the moment. But when this is working overnight, I wanted to make sure the vat never got too low, so I dumped a ton of resin in on top of the job. So let me set up my camera here, and we can see how easy those supports come off. Alrighty, let's see what we got. Wow. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't size it up. That's a perfect scale. Very nice. Oh no, I got a crack on the back. Damn it. I got a crack right across the back there. I can fix that. Yeah, that could have been when I added the other resin to the vat, because I dumped almost the whole bottle of the rest of the resin in. So that's what might have caused that crack. Well, it could be fixed. Should get it off the build plate. Come off very easy. Yep, be sure you wear your gloves and glasses. Yeah, see, look how easy those supports are coming off. Oh shit. Damn it. Yeah, I got a break in the model. Yeah, damn it, I got another break. Well, look at that. Yeah. Oh well. Let's just reprint it. Okay, let me show you what happened overnight. I was going to say third time's a charm, but it's not. Okay, now I'm on the Peopoly forge. Printing her out again, and look at her head. Look at that. I noticed that coming out of the vat. It's like, well, wow, that's weird. Totally crazy. So, I'm not going to try to reprint the model a fourth time. I will get the one part out of the garbage, the first one that screwed up, the second one, clean them all up, show you all three, and then maybe I can possibly cut her head off out of the first two good ones and adapt it to the third. I really don't know yet. And then after those issues, I took the resin out of the vat. I cleaned out the vat, and then I took the vat out of the machine. The protective covering that's on top of the LCD was completely covered in resin. Thinking, oh no, I got a leak on the PEP. So, got that all cleaned up. Got some IPA, blue shop towels, cleaned it off. Then I go over everything with a sprayway glass cleaner. Got it all cleaned off. Replaced the FEP. They had sent me an extra one with the machine. Got it all replaced. And once it was all done, I broke out some Sunlu standard resin that I had bought quite a few of. Poured that in it. And you know what? I was going to say third time's a charm, but third time around wasn't a charm. Fourth time around was a charm, and things came out better. So, anyway, let me kind of give you an idea what happened here. And as you can see on these, she was printed at an angle. On the resin printer, I forget which way I had her turned, but anyway, look at her arm. Her whole arm is gone. So I mixed up the resin really good, redone the print, cleaned out the bat. Or here's the first one. She's got that big long crack, and her whole arm and elbow is completely gone. And then on the GK2, here's the second one. Now, people were talking about layer shifts on the heaters when the door's shut. On this particular GK2, if the door's left open, like I'm time-lapsing, the heaters never turn on. So that wasn't an issue on one of them. When I done the second one, there was no reason to re-time-lapse it a second time. The door was shut, but I had the same exact results. So then I took the file and I hollowed it a little over 2 millimeters thick in Cheetah box, put in my drain holes and my internal supports at that time. And then I imported it into Blair Slicer, where I angled the model and added the light dense supports, and started out on the Peopoly forge. Look at that. That's just crazy. Her head's gone, her chest is busting out, and her whole back is gone. Well, when I took this off the build plate, that's when I realized that my bat had a small leak, and the leak resin all with the FEP, and it cured in one small spot. After I cleaned it up, I was able to take a double-sided razor blade, which is this one right here, and I was very careful, was able to scrape that off. And then I re-cleaned it with IPA and sprayway glass cleaner. And then I started all over again with Sunlu resin. So once I got the print done after like 30-something hours, for some reason the Peopoly forge prints nice, great big volume, but it seems like it takes a really long time to print anything. Could be my imagination, but for something with the settings, it just seems like it takes a long time to print. But eventually I got her done. She came out looking amazing. So maybe she don't hate me after all. The fourth time later. Drain holes are in it. She came out really good. I got all the sports off. She has been cured here. Came out really good. And now comes the base. I thought the base was fine, so I took it off the build plate. And as you can see, I've got a split right there. I can mend that with putty and I can sand it off. But as you look, there's a line all the way across there. Now, it's only cut right here, but there is a distinctive line all the way across it. I can see it right here. And I don't know what in the hell caused that. Maybe that's from the little bit of debris that was on the protective screen cover that I couldn't get off. I mean, it looked like it was all off. Not really sure why that happened. I can mend it, but that's not good. That line shouldn't be there. And then on the emblem, part of the end here didn't come out. And then these were a little bit longer. When I was taking off supports, these two long things that come out that kind of look like spears, I had broke one when I was taking off the support, so then I nipped the other side to look about the same. But yeah, part of the end did fail on that. This was printed solid. This base I printed hollow, and I tried to go 2 millimeters thick, but there's too many small areas that would have had resin inside of it. So I think I went up to like 4.5 millimeters thick, and I kept reslicing it and dragging the model down, looking at it to see where I had voids. And wherever I thought I needed to put an extra drain hole, like here and here for this area, I did. And I think I got all the areas. And then I got a hole in the bottom, multiple drain holes through it. and I rinsed it out really super good in IPA, dried it out, and as always I take things out in the garage with my air compressor and I blow them out really good and dry them out. Now before I glue this model together, I'll take my UV light that I have on a fiber optic light, and I have another little bulb that I'll stick down inside these different areas to try to cure it completely on the inside. But this will go into her leg. And then I cured her the Uniformation curing station that they sent me out. It's got a light in the top, light in the two sides, and a light under the build plate. It works really well. And this goes in here somehow. I'll probably have to do a little sanding to get her to drop down in there all the way. Yeah, I got to do a little sanding to get that to fit down in there properly. But once that's all the way together, then this emblem will go on her leg like that. That's a beautiful little statue. And she's probably about a foot tall, I'll say. Got a tape measure right here. Yeah, she's like 10.5 inches tall. So then on the base, she'll probably be 12 to 13 inches total when she's on the base. And then one other issue I was wondering about, if anybody out there knows, Uniformation sent me out to what they call a washing machine. It's to wash all your prints. And I went down to Lowe's and I'm trying denatured alcohol. I've got a gallon here, and it can be drained out of that washing station. But I noticed there's a metal lid on top, but there's no rubber seal or anything around it. So if I dump in that denatured alcohol, simply close the metal lid, it's all going to evaporate. Now every time I do a resin print job, sure I can drain it, but who wants to do that every time? Drain out the resin out of the container, dump it back in just to wash, and then have to re-drain it. There is no rubber seal or anything around that. No idea why they didn't do it. Now if the Anacubic, it has a completely seal like Tupperware. It seals tight. You can keep your IPA in there and it won't evaporate. But I don't know why the Uniformation washing station doesn't have any kind of a seal on the top of it. And like I say, anybody out there has used it? Have you left IPA in it for a long period of time? Has it evaporated? Let me know what you think down in the comments. I'd really appreciate it. But yeah, it's taken me a while to get this video out. But Nebula, on the first 3 prints, she hated me. I swear to God. The resin gods weren't favoring me at all. But I finally got her printed. And like I said, I got a boo-boo on the base, but I think that is for my bad. Like I said, I replaced the FEP, cleaned the screen, but for some reason, it didn't come out quite right. And I had a minor boo-boo right there, but I can fix it. I just hope the next print that comes out is the same way. I'm going to have to clean out the vat again, check everything, and see what I can see with that screen protector. I might have to replace it if there's any more residue on top of that screen protector. But other than that, yeah, it's been fun. Gabriel, if you're watching, hey my dude, what's going on? Yeah, he showed this online a couple weeks ago. It just looked amazing. It's like, I gotta have that. She looks so beautiful, amazing. Amazing sculpt by you and your team, Gabriel. Keep it up, guys. You're doing awesome work. Yeah, it's amazing. Printed in Sunlu resin, came out great. Printed in the Jam Heat resin, not so much. I had some issues. And, most of the time when I buy resin, I don't like having to dial in the resin. I simply want to shake it up really good, pour it in my resin printer, and go. And 99.9% of the time, that happens. The other 1%, you got to tweak this setting and that setting and run some test prints, etc., etc. I like just being able to pour it and go. And like I say, most of the time that happens for me. But yeah, be sure whenever you're working with resin, always wear protective safety glasses. Wear your safety glasses, wear your gloves. Be very careful working around resin. If I have a Linux air purifier here on the floor I keep in, work in a well-ventilated area. And when you get resin, don't open up the bottle and smell it to see if it has an odor. It's a chemical. You don't want to smell chemicals. When I resin print, sometimes I can smell the chemicals when I'm in my hobby room next to this room. Sometimes I don't notice it, sometimes I do. The Linux air purifier isn't a solution, but it helps. But just be safe when you work around resin. And until the next video, guys, have an awesome day. Please like, subscribe, share. I'm trying to build my channel. And yeah, I'll talk to you next time, guys. Later, and happy resin printing.